and welcome to Onesies, a podcast of one season wonders and blunders. My name's Andrew,
My name is Emily.
and we are discussing 1959's World of Giants, episode
Blunder.
9.
Blunder. I'm calling it a
Yes,
blunder.
gee, do we want to list the wonders versus the blunders versus the, let's just call it evens? Yeah, we've never really done a what do you call it? What do the people do now? They do the tier lists. Maybe someday we'll do a tier list. Episode or season 20, we'll do a tier list of all the previous seasons
We
and
got a
come
lot
up
of seasons to go, brother.
so many to go. Aren't we on season 13?
Yeah.
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 No? What?
Yeah, season
Yeah.
13. You just
Okay.
can't get a hold of any of the shows I want.
What are you talking about, Emily? We watch our shows through absolutely 179% legal means.
I
Obviously.
I know, but they just don't exist. That's what I'm saying.
That's what you're just excited. Yes.
Yeah.
Back to the show. If you listened to last episode, you noticed we went really long and didn't talk much about the show.
It's
Buckle
really
up.
long. And I
Buckle
edited
up.
things out. That's the thing. I was surprised, even after I edited, that it was still 50 minutes long or whatever. It was so stupid. Ugh.
Okay. So this is episode 9, Rainbow of Fire. It is about Mel and Bill and Brownie going to a Caribbean island
A
populated
South
by
American Caribbean island?
American Caribbean island, dressed with costumes left over from like a 1959 racist Taco Bell commercial. Yes. So, was Taco Bell around in 1959?
I was just going to Google that. How
Thank
dare
you.
you?
Thank you. Okay, so last episode we talked about how there was going to be racism. We talked about how there was going to be a talking mule, possibly, or a donkey.
I was
Emily
really
did
excited for
get
the talking
that.
donkey.
She did get her payoff there. We get to talk about how there's no voiceover at all this time, but we also
Yeah.
get to talk about Brownie and how she just cannot keep. She's just too damn horny all the time. Ladies are just too damn horny, and they jeopardize counter-espionage missions. This is what I've learned from this show. It's quite obvious that you just throw an accent at a lady and she will just collapse.
So let's start with the shitty dance scene at the beginning.
The pointless shitty dance scene, except for
So we open on feet because Quentin Tarantino directed this episode. Some ladies' feet in a pair of kitten heels
that's right.
dancing.
Pause so we don't forget this. If anybody wants to fund a podcast, Emily and I will do We Got Feet, the films of Quentin Tarantino, but we require it being underwritten. I think probably 40 grand would cover it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If
Continuing.
I'm going to be watching Quentin Tarantino movies, I need to be getting paid for it.
We got feet.
So, they you just see ladies' feet in white shoes. Only a real hooker wears white shoes, man. That's some real funny shit. And then it kind of pans back, and Bill is also dancing, and it's Bill and Brownie in the apartment/office getting down, as it were. Bill seems like he's counting out the cha-cha.
Yes.
It's like the worst white people dancing scene I've seen in a very long time.
Because you're not watching the Republican National Convention memes.
Oh, I'm not. No. Oh.
I mean,
Anyway.
I will say this dance scene, there is a chance that we could cut this with some great other songs, potentially.
Yeah, I could see that. But anyway, and then you see Mel kind of like he's holding a shirt, apparently that's recently pressed because it is a cardboard shirt, or it's like standing up, and he's holding it like a dance partner because poor Mel. does not have a dance partner. And then Brownie and Bill come together and they're actually dancing. She hovers for longer than he hovers. He goes right for her waist, and her hands are sort of like hovering near his hands for a long time. And then they're dancing and they're woo-hooing, and Bill is very excited to be dancing with Brownie. Mel sees it and is kind of gets his pissy pants on, and then storms back into his house and shuts the door before Bill says, don't be sore, Mel. We're just dancing. And then Mel comes back out, and where's the commissioner? He was supposed to be here at noon. And Brownie's like, whoa, that's only 7 minutes ago. Don't worry about it. In fact, that's probably him now. And the commissioner comes in and they explain the plot of the episode, which is a missile fell over a South American / Caribbean island, and nobody has found the very important information contained in the missile. Like, I guess you shoot missiles off with very important information and they land on jungle islands. I don't know. And they have to go find it.
Yeah.
Nobody's found it yet. They have to go find it because it contains top secret secrets.
But what did the commissioner bring for Mel?
So in this case, instead of having a briefcase, which would be completely fine, and I think it would match the storyline and it would continue, whatever, he brings a camera, and it is his house. The camera is going to be what Mel is transported in to the Caribbean island and around the Caribbean island. And he gets inside, and we get some shots of Brownie looking in, and Mel is like looking out the lens of the camera and sees everything.
Yes. So we then get this like Vaseline dissolve to the Caribbean island. But the sad part is, I thought it was going to be a dream episode. I thought something was terribly wrong and Mel was going to have a dream episode. And I was like, oh God, it's going to be great. No. We focus in on a Hispanic gentleman. Do we think this is Eduardo Noriega?
This is the plantation owner. Yeah.
Yes, the plantation owner / their contact on the island.
I don't think we ever hear his name. I don't remember them actually ever saying Mr. Noriega, Senor Noriega, Eduardo.
Well, his name in the episode's Juan Garcia.
So. Oh, yes, Garcia. Okay. That makes sense.
Yes. So, but he's like making eyes at Brownie, but it's 1959, so he's not like staring inappropriately, but it looks like he's staring into the camera. But that would be like staring it away. It's creepy. Like, nobody Bill sort of, there's some weird shots, like when the three of them are looking in the lens at Mel. That's when he like passes out. That's when I thought it was gonna be a dream sequence. But yeah, so dude's creepy, and we're like, oh, he's a fucking creep. But no, he's got a fucking accent. So Brownie is DT Ilf.
So he has an accent. I don't know, because I feel like old people in like, even when I was a child, aren't quite the same as old people now. Like, when my mom was my age, I felt like she was an adult. I do not feel like I am an adult, right?
I mean, you're 17 years old.
Fair enough.
Right. Emily's not 17 years old. I would not be doing a podcast with a 17-year-old. She's at least 22.
Thank you. So this guy, I don't know how old he is. He's certainly not any like sex symbol, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
He was 43.
So he's at least twice as old as me.
At least twice as old. If not 3 times as old. I mean, we don't know.
We don't know. Nobody knows. He's 43. Wow. He's anyway, he looks significantly older than Brownie. He's not particularly attractive. He's got a mustache. He's which I don't have anything against mustaches, but he's just not particularly attractive. And the sort of eyes that he's making at her, like, it's not quite wiggling eyebrows, but it's just creepy. It comes across as creepy. And his accent, not super strong. I mean, this is a person of Hispanic heritage who has lived in the United States and probably either grew up without having an accent or eliminated his accent for
Born
purposes of
in
fitting in.
born in Mexico.
Oh, really?
It lived in Mexico. Looks
So
like
he so he
mostly.
probably does not, like, in film and television, did not speak with an accent unless he was playing a character, right?
Yes.
This was not a strong accent.
No. Um.
And I find your argument that she fell for his accent flimsy.
Then explain to me why she was immediate. He kissed her hand and she was just like, I will suck you off like Nancy Reagan right now.
I suspect that she has romanticized South America in her mind
Wow.
so much that
Okay.
any attention from a local
Okay.
would be seen as good. And look at the dope she hangs out with.
Okay, right. But she and Bill, is his name Bill? Yes.
Bill,
Were
yeah.
getting ready.
I
Like they were
know.
dancing to go together. And then the second she sees him, she's just like, you're on the fucking floor while this guy is on the bed with me, Bill. And Bill's like, okay. Mel's gonna watch from the camera though. And like, because we get repeatedly them going, oh, and you're invited too, Bill. And Bill's just like, well, I have other plans tonight. And is yes, it is actually. It is actually a good example of cucking. So this is the first time we've had this intensive cucking on the cast. I think. Anyway,
So, but also in the last episode, they were necking. They were making out in the truck.
yes, and they had a
And
moment
they
like the beginning was cute again. Like Bill was cute. And then now we have just turned into Brownie is just like whatever, Bill, like, and he's like, Brownie, we gotta go do our job. She's just like, what? And he's
she
like,
can't get enough of just cucking Mel. Now she's got to cuck Mel and
yeah,
Bill.
I mean, it ends with the commissioner just being like, let's go, Brownie. And she's just like, all right. And the two of them going, what?
Hey, Brownie, I got to
Okay.
give you a raise. You got to come over here and take your pants off for it, though.
So I think this scene goes on for so long. It goes on for so long because we're cutting to Mel watching, we're cutting to Bill being sad about it, and we're cutting to dude licking Brownie's hand. And then finally Bill's like, so they set up a dinner date. Bill's got plans or something, so he's not going to go with them. They're in the hotel set. So now there's a hotel set. There's a dining room slash bar at the hotel set that I think is just the lobby redressed.
Yeah.
And then there's a jungle set. The jungle set is delightful, is a bit strong, but I was impressed that it was this level of like just sort of action, black and white action stuff. Mel will have nothing to do with the jungle set, which I was waiting for the entire fucking episode. I'm like,
Yep.
he's gonna fight a leopard
Or a fly. Or
a giant dragonfly. That would have been amazing. He could have ridden around on it. Nope. In fact, we're going to do very little of the fucking jungle set except walk through it or
beat up children.
Beat up children and threaten them with firearms. I watched Origin last night for the first time.
I don't know what that is.
The Ava DuVernay, not adaptation of the book Cast. Basically, it's you remember Adaptation?
Yeah, which I've never seen, but I remember it.
You remember the concept that you can't adapt a nonfiction book, so you have to do something funny. This is fucking just Origin's amazing, and you just sit there thinking, oh, Quentin Tarantino thinks he's made a better movie than this. That's fucking hilarious that he thinks he's made a better movie. But it's incredibly heavy. It packages together just the author Isabel Wilkerson's research into how caste is a bedrock that racism has been built upon.
Is Niecy Nash amazing in it?
She's amazing in it.
Good.
Yes, because she's like the best dramatic actress who was ever born, and she doesn't give a shit. But I mean, the girl on the girl in the lead, whatever, like Anjuine Ellis something maybe. I remember when she was on
Oh
The
yeah.
Mentalist, and she would have scenes with Thomas Jane. No, not Thomas Jane. That's the one who sucks. Oh boy, was that his name on the show? What's your boy's name? Blonde boy from The Mentalist, Simon Baker. Yeah, I'm sorry, you know Crumholds by memory. Anyway, we're talking about the things. Oh, right. You weren't bored when these shows were on. Okay. So,
Hey, remember how we're talking about World of Giants?
no, because people should go watch Origin instead.
Okay.
Okay. But I actually had like a segue. What was the segue? Where were we?
We were talking about the jungle scene, how he could have been flying on stuff, but instead he was
Yeah.
beating up a child.
He was beating up a child with a gun. Yeah, that's how I got there because it starts with Trayvon Martin. Okay, so yeah, they're out in the jungle. They find the rocket. The rocket's in pieces. The black box isn't there. They hear a noise. They run over. Is Brownie wearing her weird fucking hat at this point?
She's wearing a weird hat. Yeah.
Okay, so basically they had the Taco Bell commercial that they got all the costumes from, but Brownie was like, I want to do something different. Do you have something like really racist from a movie set in China that was like made in Hollywood? And I don't know, like what's a really good racist period? 1928. Do you have anything from 1928?
1930s, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have anything that D.W. Griffith was like, hey now, that's a little much? And she wears that around.
Anything from the Charlie Chan set laying around?
Do we have anything? That's what I wanted to wear. It's fucking weird because it doesn't fit right. I mean, maybe in all the Hollywood movies, it's not actually supposed to provide shade for the people who are wearing I don't know, it's the flying saucer hat, basically. What? Come on, it's the flying saucer hat. So, but she's wearing it like, and it doesn't come over her, it doesn't provide any shade. It's like just on, it's not as big as the top of her head. It's inexplicable. It's like she wore a child's model. Anyway, they
So
run.
they're called conical hats because they're kind of like a cone.
Okay, conical hats. Thank you.
That's a not racist way to describe it.
Are they really from? Do Chinese people really wear them?
Yeah, they wear them in like rice fields. They're long. They're like longer, like you said, to
Yes.
keep them covered.
Okay. So yes, Emily edited out all the problematic things I just said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't believe you.
Wow. But they chase down the noise. We get this we don't get a reveal on who it is for a while, but Bill's got his gun out and he's like flailing it around. And then we find out it's a little kid.
Yeah.
Who then runs away and they chase him and they chase him into his barn where there's a fucking donkey.
The best actor in the whole bunch.
The dad comes out with a rifle and says, why are you fucking white people chasing my kid? And Bill's like, he stole something. And the dad's like, did you steal something? The kid's like, no. But like, really suspicious, like. Because they like ask him, hey, did you find anything? He's like, I swear on my life I didn't find anything.
So,
I'd never lie to you.
This kid is also like the most petty, petulant child ever. Like, I saw it first. It was mine. That's why I'm mad that everybody's here because it's mine because I saw it first. Like, I'm not sure. Like, a little American entitled boys, I can see saying something like that. This kid who like is a farmer, whose dad is a farmer or something, or who works in the coffee plantation. I can't imagine him having that weird entitled mentality, but I could be wrong.
Well, let's be real. This kid, played by Eugene Mazzola, was in
Dennis the Menace,
the Asphalt Jungle. He was in the Ten Commandments.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he had a better career than most of the people on this show. So, yeah, he was like, why the fuck am I, where's Yul Brenner? You guys suck. Okay. But the dad comes out and he's like, "Get the fuck away from my kid!" And they're like, "Ah, and we're gonna fucking get your kid." The dad's like, "I'm gonna fucking shoot you," and then they leave. But
And
it's
then they
okay
leave.
because Mel's gonna come up with a plan and they're gonna sneak back in. But first, we got to cut to Brownie on her date.
Oh yeah, she's been invited out to dinner by Mr. Garcia, which made Bill sore because what does Bill say? Like, I hate to exaggerate, but it's been a pleasure. I thought that was funny.
Yeah,
Um, Bill has been invited, but he has other plans, and those other plans are sitting at the bar spying on Brownie and Garcia having dinner. So
yeah,
we see our introduction to this date is the most awkward scene I've ever seen in my life, which is them just kind of randomly giggling and him pouring her champagne, what looks like some kind of sparkling wine, and she drinks it and it tickles her nose, of course, because it's 1959, and so she giggles about it, and then he kind of giggles and then he finally, like, it's the longest scene, unnecessary, no words are exchanged until he asks her to dance. And
right.
then
Because you
Bill,
ladies can't control yourselves around an accent. That's what the show just taught me. People who watch this show write the laws in this country.
fair enough. Um, I'm gonna, they get up and start dancing, and Bill is sitting there looking dejected. He orders another drink from the
Drunken. Yeah.
bar, and the camera is sitting on the table next to him, and he says, this what I thought was funny too. He says to Mel, like, what's with this guy's cha-cha? What does this guy have that I don't have? And Mel says, like, it's not that he's so good, it's that you're so bad. I thought that was
Yeah.
funny. And then the bartender sees him talking to his camera and is like, I think you've had enough, pal, but gives him a drink anyway. And then dancy, dancy, dancy. Bill decides to leave. Does Bill leave? Yeah, Bill must leave. Oh, because
Bill
Bill and
leaves.
Mel, this is where they plan to go back to the farm. Right. Bill and Mel plan to go back to the farm. Mel's got a plan, and they leave. And then the dance is interrupted by one of Garcia's employees who says, "We've got a problem with tomorrow's shipment. I need to talk to you." And steps away. He says to Brownie, "I'll be right back. Should only take a minute." But then he leaves, and she sits sort of giddily sipping her wine. Um, and then do we and then we
No,
cut to
wait.
the jungle,
No, the farm.
the farm.
Because this is where we've got the donkey talking donkey.
Okay. So
So,
go ahead.
so at some point, Mel is like, I've got a fucking genius plan, y'all. And so the genius plan is that Mel's going to be in the donkey's hat and talk to young Pedro with what Marshall Thompson undoubtedly thought was a fantastic accent.
Yeah.
So he tells the little boy that all animals can talk. And
But only to the innocent and honest.
yes. And then he said, and the little boy's like, "Do you love me?" And he's like, "I will if you give the white people what they want." And the little boy's like, "That's fucking weird, dude." And he's like, hey now, do it.
Don't dream it's
Uh,
over.
and so that basically wraps up. Bill's like, it comes out at the end, is like, we got it. And then there's like somebody catches them or
It's
something.
the dad comes back and hits Bill over the head with the butt of his rifle or something.
No, that's somebody else comes in and hits Bill over
Oh,
the
I thought it was
head.
the dad.
I did too initially, but the guy who hits him over the head is the one who's dressed that they get later. And
It's
I
the one
think
that they
Bill
get later. Yeah.
and I think Bill's like, "You had that coming," or something. Um, because I think the boy is under surveillance for the black box.
Yeah.
Because there are bad guys and they want the black box.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we cut to Brownie waiting around. Bill gets back and he's like, "Oh, I got fucking knocked out. This sucked." And Brownie's like, "Okay, I got stood up." And he's like, "Ha all right. Then what happens?
Then
Oh no, wait, hold
Brownie
on.
tells. Oh,
I just remembered what. Okay, you tell it, and we'll see if I'm right.
so Brownie tells them, oh, about an hour ago, somebody came and mentioned the coffee shipment, and I haven't seen him since. So they're like, let's go to the docks. And they go down to the docks where the guy who just knocked Bill out is standing guard, and they beat him over the head. Oh, Mel uses his magical voice throwing abilities to distract the guard, and Mel beats him over the head, knocks him out. They go in, they find the black box in a bag of coffee beans that is being shipped to East Germany. And then Garcia comes in, catches them, holds them up, or holds Bill up, I guess. He doesn't, obviously, nobody knows that Mel exists, holds Bill up, and suddenly, I guess it's in the beginning of this scene where they're actually in the coffee bean warehouse thing. Um, we see that there's attached to the camera is a flash bulb, which we've never seen before.
Yeah.
So in my mind, that's Chekhov's flash bulb. I know that Mel is going to crawl out of the camera and try to initiate the flash to let Bill escape, which is exactly what happens. And the end. I mean, practically the end, right?
Yeah.
Like, they go back, I think, to the farm where the little boy has got the wagon, which was going to be his present for doing the right thing and giving the box to the white people.
Right. Yeah.
And the joke is that the dad is like very proud that his son was so honest and did the right thing that he wants him to take a picture. And the joke is that the camera doesn't work, but Bill pretends that it does. The end.
Yeah. The end. No voiceover. No,
Nope.
this is the real life story of me, Mel Hunter.
No,
Kids.
because that's all in. I've been skipping the intro, the theme. So, but that's all in the intro, the theme, all of that voiceover and like, I live in the real world.
But we don't get the end
Right.
voiceover anymore. We're
Right.
here 3 more times. You've been skipping it. It's such an
I've been skipping it.
inspirational theme. Okay.
I've been skipping it. Thank you.
So yeah,
What a great feature! What a great feature the streaming services have.
I mean, hell, you could skip a whole episode if you think about it. The commissioner never comes back. It was never important that he was late.
Nope.
We do establish, like, I think they do shame Brownie, at least visually, for her liking the turncoat.
But it exhibits itself in a way that to me is more like, oh, this is just Mel being jealous again. You see like Mel watching the guy hitting on her and he's just like shaking his head like, but I interpreted that as him shaking his head at the man and not necessarily at Brownie for falling for it. But I mean, it could very well go either way.
Okay. Not a lot. I mean, there's not a lot of Mel action. Not a lot of composite shots.
Just maybe the one, right?
Maybe just the one at the dancing.
Just the one at the beginning.
Good, yeah.
And then there's the one where it's a shot of the donkey where you see kind of Mel's head floating in the hole in the hat.
That's terrible.
Because the donkey's wearing a hat, folks. The donkey's wearing a hat. And
we get inserts of Mel sticking his head through this giant hole in the hat, which is pretty funny. But then, when they do it, the miniature head, they just cut out his head. And it's not even like holding still. It's kind of floating. It looks like a decapitated head. It's really funny. Episode's got big no more money for you vibes. So you can use this set, this jungle set vibes. Okay, so next episode. Oh yeah. Oh, what do we got next time? Fuck me. Oh God. Episode 10, The Smugglers. They go to China. Oh, good. That hat's going to make a comeback then. Brownie's not in it. Okay. There is another lady who's in it, though. We'll see how well they treat her. Nathan Jurin again. Okay. So, a seedy ballroom. Oh, good. Yeah. So Sure hope you pick something good for next season. You got to start thinking.
Well, you didn't have that Norman Fell vehicle. Haven't been
If
able to find that
only,
anywhere.
if
Oh my God.
only,
Oh
if
well.
only we knew someone who worked at a library at a university with a giant film and television department who might have access to the original 35 millimeter prints and they could strike up nice 8K transfers for us. If only we knew someone like that who listens to
If
the
only.
podcast diligently.
If only.
Diligently.
Keep playing that guilt trip. Keep playing it.
Into the ether.
Not going anywhere, buddy.
I mean, maybe someday, years from now. I mean, we don't know who listens to the podcast. Maybe one of our listeners feels guilty for not sharing the Norman Fell
Maybe.
vehicles with us.
Maybe.
Um,
Okay. Well, thank you
yeah,
for
so
listening to us talk about this shitty episode of the shitty TV show from 1959. We will see you next week when we talk about another presumably shitty episode
a
of
shitty
this.
TV show.
But we're almost done. Only
We
13
are almost done.
episodes. This was episode 9. 4 more episodes to go.
Yep.
So, Andrew, I will see you in television land.
See you in television land, Emily.